Hey everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts back once again with another reaction for you guys. Young Justice is back, guys. Holy crap, yes, finally. We've been waiting for a couple of months. We had to take this break from Season 4. Now we're in the back half of Season 4. Now, what is surprising, and they announced it a few days ago, and I'm like, I love Young Justice, but guys, like, I needed a little more time to prepare for this. They dropped 3 episodes for its return. We have 3 episodes, episodes 14, 15, and 16 from Young Justice Season 4. And this first episode here, returning back, even though we have 3, not just the 1 today, Nautical Twilight. I love that title. Love that title. Now, we are starting now the Aqua Lad. Well, he was Aqua Lad when we first met him, but he is now Aqua Man. We're starting his storyline this with these 3 episodes at least. I'm not sure how long it's going to go because the last arc we had before the break was Zatanna, and her arc was actually 5 episodes, which actually made more sense because the storyline they were covering, there was a lot going on. So I don't know if this is going to be 4 episodes for his arc. I'm not really sure, but I'm excited regardless because I love the fact that the approach they're taking this season, and I've been saying this during the other episode reactions before the break, I'm liking this new dynamic in terms of having small arcs, focusing on particular characters, mostly heroes that we were actually introduced to at the beginning of the series, and seeing basically what's happening in their world, how it's kind of tying into other things in terms of what events have transpired this season and how that's tying into other storylines, but mostly focusing on one particular character and then what's happening in their world in terms of their side of things, in terms of Earth 16, and then the characters that they're interacting with. And it's really cool because it's a way to where we're not focusing on so many different things at once. We're able to take pockets, essentially, of time to focus on particular characters. And I think this is all leading up to something towards the end of the season in terms of where they're all going to come together. At least that's my hope. So I'm excited now. I'm going to stop rambling because I'm ready to get into these new episodes and see what they have here. Because like we have 3 instead of the 1 this week. So let's get into it now, guys. Nautical Twilight, episode 14 of Young Justice Season 4. Let's go. Oh, this again.
Maybe you need to take a moment to process.
Everyone does.
You never had time to mourn. You've always been the leader, the adult, the rock we all lean on.
He's just trying to look out for him. I understood his point because it's been so much over these last number of years. Oh, shit.
Welcome you to the opening ceremonies of our.
That's kind of cool table.
Prime Minister Topo of Lemuria in the North.
We're meeting a lot of characters right here.
Coral of Neptunos in the South Pacific.
I am certain the delegate from Zebel will join us.
Are we sure?
The conference proper begins tomorrow.
Something's up with that.
We did have plans for this day.
I'm completely surrounded.
Hey,
Aqua Boy,
Aqua Boy.
Aqua Boy keeps his eyes on everyone.
Do you? I keep eyes on everybody.
I never would have believed I'd
Oh.
have this life. What say you show down?
Yeah, I think I remember her.
She rarely gets to see Poseidonus.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Where am
I honestly didn't expect
I? Again.
like to see him at least for a bit. Yeah. Yeah.
Are we dead?
I think so, but not really. Like, wow, I wasn't expecting that.
Calderon.
Lori Lemaris, allow me to.
There's a lot of characters we're introducing, so apologies if I'm not seeing all the connections.
You look well, Lori. I am ashamed of my actions. Even my thoughts.
So they know King Orm is now on the loose. They know that.
This is its own provocation, chum.
We are here to put old conflicts behind us. Save your
Unity. That's what it seemed like the meeting's for.
forget.
I mean, Violet.
I had no wish to startle you, Maria.
Hey.
Or, Dr. Dao.
It's fine. There a reason you came back?
That's be a reason.
The thing is, I know Gabrielle's faith was very important to her.
King Nereus continues to mock us by
He's like,
saying one so
okay.
insignificant.
More experience.
experienced leaders would be here.
We are here to discuss many issues.
Many, it seems. He's trying to...
between our borders.
I can't be dead.
Well, I mean...
My heart.
Okay, so maybe... Well, I don't think he's truly dead.
It's just a ghostly habit. I'll believe you're alive. If you believe I'm alive.
Well, when she wakes up.
A reminder that life on Earth is temporary, and I must use my time wisely to do good and be the best person I can be. Trying is all any of us can do. With the hijab, I try to invite others to... You must follow your heart.
In the end. And it's interesting how she's going to her mom, well,
Climate
Gabrielle's
change
mom,
evolution to
about
the
this.
surface is devastating.
Took his woman and raised his son as your own.
Let me be clear. My biological father is immaterial. Calvin Durham is my father in every way that matters.
I will not pretend the way forward will be easy.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it. There's a lot of problems with different sanctions and everything.
If we work together.
It's Orm. It's Orm. Exactly, it's Orm. Jesus Christ.
Maybe this is some sort of Kryptonian afterlife.
But then why would she be there?
Kryptonian, are you?
No.
I need to get you help, and there's none here.
Well, you need help too.
Guess we keep moving.
Holy shit. Okay. Straight up murdering people. Alright. Ooh, come on. Damn it. Damn it. Nobody can stop him. Jesus Christ. He will single-handedly, he's single-handedly destroying everything. He's fucking pissed. Oh my god. This is so crazy. What the? Who's the fuck? Who's this? Who's that? Who was that?
I met one who called herself a god. She had tremendous power, but was
Yeah, that's not a god. No.
spiteful.
I found I was proud of you for turning down King Brionne's offer to be his queen. I believe you are on a good path.
Where's the man who saved us?
Gone.
Who was he?
I want to know who. My god.
The prophecy.
We'll discuss it later.
The prophecy? The prophecy?
Are you all right?
My god.
And in the end, you will triumph, my prince.
Do not call me prince. Now and forever.
King Orm.
Orm,
King.
Ocean Master.
Ocean Master, yeah. Give him a point.
World, allow me to introduce you to Violet Harper. They are the best person I know.
Hello, world.
I am still in shock. What we just witnessed. Holy crap, this episode was jam-packed with stuff. Because I honestly thought when we started watching the episode and it started up, I'm like, okay, so we're going to be following Calder, Aquaman, and we're going to, set up some story. I wasn't expecting all of this shit to happen within this episode in terms of all of these different delegates from different kingdoms around, the planet in terms of oceans and everything, and they're all having this meeting, and then they had to send a delegate from Mara's side of things because her father is not sending anybody, so that was a whole mess there. And I also thought that was going to be the majority of the episode in terms of the politics of the ocean or whatever, and them trying to basically set aside the problems in the past and try to come to some sort of unity, some sort of solution to a lot of different issues that these people have in terms of, apparently, I forget his name, but the shark, essentially, apparently sending forces to this border of another, people's land and having all these problems and attacking people. It's like bad stuff. And then, of course, just other things that we're bringing up in terms of trust and everything. And so I thought that was going to be pretty much the episode in terms of just focusing on that. No, we had two other storylines we're following. One, I was completely shocked by because I didn't expect it. And the other, I was like, interesting. I didn't expect to go with this story here. So the one I wasn't expecting, because we'll get to the Superboy things in a second. That's the one I was like, what? We're actually covering this now? But is Gabrielle, but Violet. She goes to Gabrielle's mother's house. Obviously, it's not her mother, but at first she's like, Gabrielle, Violet. Like, she knew that this is not her daughter anymore, but it still looks like her daughter. We followed the storyline of her trying to figure out why wear the hijab, Islam, all that kind of stuff. Like, basically trying to figure out, what type of a religion, or like, who do I want to be specifically, and what do I want to believe in, and speaking to Gabrielle's mother and trying to find answers to that. And so that was really interesting to kind of see that, because she's just trying to learn information. Well, now she goes by they now, because making the point in the after credit sequence about how I am both Gabrielle and Mother Box. So I need to find that balance of like who I truly am. And it is now they, Violet, they. So they go through that. And I think it was interesting because Violet brought up the fact that, I thought I met a god, because she considered herself to be a god, of course, Granny Goodness, not a god. And then, Gabrielle's mother says, no, like, that wasn't a god. God would not have done this. I'm like, yeah, exactly. I mean, God would not have done all this really bad shit in terms of, like, causing pain and all this. It just, no. Granny Goodness is not a god. So I thought that was interesting, that there was a lot of exploration with her because, well, seeing, my mind, it's early in the morning. But for Violet to explore that in terms of who am I think that was interesting. The Superboy stuff, because the majority of this was the Calendar Aquaman stuff, but the Superboy stuff, I wasn't expecting to see him wake up. And I'm like, what? Because we saw at the end of the Zatanna arc, before the show went to break, where Zatanna thinks she saw Superboy, and she did, and she's like, I think I just saw Superboy. I didn't expect we actually, within this episode, because I was expecting it further down into the episodes to finally touch on what's happening to Superboy. Where is he? There's a Legion from the Legion of Superheroes next to him, passed out. She's like knocked out. She's not waking up. And his hand goes through her and he's realizing, what, ghostly, what the hell? And then he believed that she was real, and then he's able to touch her, pick her up, and actually is carrying her around, and he's searching all over, and he sees like an infrared or some sort of like streak of something going across the plane of this like mystical looking thing. It's really bizarre, but like people think it's the is it the negative zone? Is that what Marvel, not that Marvel, DC? I'm like, see, there's like all these different zones and areas or whatever from Marvel and DC. So but people had theories about what's going on with him. And then the echoey thing they're doing with his voice is kind of interesting. And he asked the question, am I dead? I don't know if he is dead. Maybe. I mean, I don't think for sure, but I could be wrong. But man, I was really intrigued by that, and I'm glad that we actually covered some of that. Obviously, we didn't get a lot of information, but more of him trying to try to figure out what's going on here the best he can, because he first Magan, he's trying to see if he can actually telepathically speak to somebody, and he can't. So until this Legion wakes up, until she wakes up, this hero that I guess was trying to save him, that was my assumption, because the theory was when we were watching the Magan storyline in Mars, is that the Legion was there for some purpose, and then after what happened to Superboy, the idea was that they saved him. Turns out it looks like one of them tried and failed, and is now in the same situation that he is in. So that was kind of interesting to see that. So hopefully we'll continue with that within this arc of Calendar, because we have 2 more episodes to go through today. So that was interesting. So I thought that the majority of this episode, in terms of what was happening in Calendar, even though I think it was the opening sequence, we see Orm. I'm like, oh, so they're setting up Orm is going to get involved at some point. I didn't expect at some point to be the end of the episode where he literally shows up at that meeting and they're all there. They have that delegate from Mara's father's side of the ocean, and he tries to speak a couple of different times and they keep cutting him off. And then an attack. Orm shows up, and Orm knocks out pretty much everybody with no hesitation. Sometimes taking out multiple people at once. Shooting his trident, blasting, destroying shit. People are falling into crevices. He's straight up murdering people. And we see these people that were having different issues, whether it was, personal problems or political issues, coming together in a sense to fight against Orm. Because they referenced earlier in the episode, we know that Orm is free, but the fact that Orm escaped prison, so he's out there somewhere. So they had to have known something. I just wasn't expecting all this to go down now. But then, somebody appears with the ability of lightning shooting out of their hands. And Orm is easily defeated, and he has to run away. And then that person who caused the lightning swims away. And I'm going, who the fuck was that? And they all were asking, who was it? Who saved us? And then Mara says to Arthur, the prophecy. Let's not speak of this now. What prophecy are you talking about? What are you talking about? Prophecy? I have no idea. Now, I'm trying to think, did they ever reference before? I think they might have referenced before that Arthur and Mara had a child, because they have Aquaboy. Well, he calls him Aquaboy. Aquaboy is here. That's interesting. Like, I maybe they did at earlier at a point show a baby that Arthur, I was at Aquaman. He's not Aquaman anymore, but Arthur and Mara had. So I'm trying to think back on that. I just can't remember off the top of my head. But that was interesting to see that little bit there. And just seeing all these characters like returning, I'm like, ooh, that character. Ooh, that character. It was really cool. It was like, there was a lot of characters they're introducing, and some of them it seemed they're going to be more important than others. So apologies if I just don't get people's names, all these new characters. You know, it's a lot to process, because a lot of things went down in this episode. A lot of crazy moments. And like I was mentioning, the Orm stuff, I wasn't expecting that to occur now, but I love the fact that the show can surprise me. We've had the show for a number of years. Of course, we had it for 2 seasons. It got canceled. It got brought back. I love the fact that throughout these 4 seasons, I can still be surprised by moments like that. I wasn't expecting the Superboy arc to continue and actually see what was occurring through his perspective and what happened to him, even though we don't know exactly what happened to him per se. And ultimately, Orm showing up in the first episode of this new arc and just destroying shit, I think it might push... It's pushing the story in a different direction, for sure. Because if they would have continued with their meetings and trying to get things accomplished, maybe it would have ended differently in terms of where the storyline was going to be going. But anyways, guys, that's the video. I'm curious to know what you guys thought about this first episode of this arc of the show returning. What do you think of the ending with Orm? What do you think of Violet? What do you think of the Superboy arc? Whatever thoughts you have, guys, please let me know in the comments below. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will talk to you guys soon. Young Justice is back. Peace out.